A decades-old Athens tradition, the Twilight Criterium is an annual weekend-long event in downtown Athens, bringing racers and spectators from all over the world. It's comprised of vendors, many bike races, and fun times.
Well, the Athens Orthopedic Clinic Twilight takes about a year to plan. We start immediately after this edition to start planning with the city. We have permitting, sponsors, racers that we all have to organize to get ready for next year. Events like the Twilight only work with the community support. So we have about 1,200 participants, ranging from a 5K run in the morning, and then we do a gambler bike ride. We do kids races, we do the professional men's and women's bike races that really do bring the best criterium racers from across the country and really internationally to Athens to race. The race has changed and grown significantly. It used to just be a professional men's race, and now it's grown to, like I said, about 1,500 to 1,500 participants. We actually have a music stage with kids' bands that play, a BMX show, so something for the families. And then as the night goes on and the downtown complexion changes, it's something good for college students and young adults to come down and have fun. Pretty much any downtown bicycle race that happens now is mimicked after Athens. It started in 1980s, the oldest Twilight Criterium, and there's probably hundreds of them now, and they all try to copy what we've done here.
There was a kids stage provided where local performers could come and showcase their talents. Vendors and community members joined in to display their support for Twilight.
Try to be the same. Everyone looks so familiar.
Twilight's always been a big part of Athens. I came here when I was little, so getting to be a part of it is a different thing, I guess. So
we were invited to play by the kids stage coordinator along with other bands. I think as younger people we bring excitement to the musical group of Athens because there are a lot of bands in Athens that perform, but I think people like it when kids come and play their own music.
This is the first year I was asked to contribute on an art level. I created the art for their race t-shirt. This being it, it would have been very easy for them to call up a graphic design firm and give the account to them, but instead they decided to reach down to me. So to be invited to such a mainstream, many demographics to be able to be viewed and have the conversation about art, about recycling, it's huge for me. That's another reason for these events, is that it gets people out and it reminds people of what is important.
I'm really happy it's back to its old ways, back to the classic racing course that they have for the evening.
Many feel as though Twilight is a huge economic benefit for Athens.
Well, in the spring, it definitely brings a lot of people to what's normally a really slow time in the city, especially for downtown businesses.
I think a lot of people come to town for the whole weekend. There's people that come in from Europe.
Just by being around here, you can feel the traffic build, but also the dollars for local businesses build.
It lets people know that hey, there's more to Athens than just bars and the UGA campus. So I know it definitely has a positive economic impact for the restaurants, especially in the immediate vicinity of the race course.
Because this is the best weekend in Athens, because this is the best opportunity to come to downtown Athens and watch these incredible athletes do what they do. We think of this event a really important part of the Athens community, and so it's our way of helping to make sure that Twilight continues, because we think Athens just wouldn't be the same without Twilight. Most towns don't have a criterium like this, so I think a lot of people are drawn to the uniqueness of the event.
BMX bike tricks are another way to be part of the cycling community, but in a different form.
Those pedals, get that little bit extra speed for that Indian FC grab. Now, hardest stuff going down right now. Chuck no-handed backflip. Breaking in that box, up tail whip 360. Ryan Fox, take out 720.
So to be here performing some BMX tricks is totally awesome too, because it kind of pulls people away from road cycling, gives them a different view on cycling in general. This is just a different form of it. The Athens community is it's very different. They're very open-minded. So I mean, it's really easy for us to come in here and and do tricks on the bikes and have road cycling races.
I know a lot of people here. Everyone is here for some reason. It's just to ride bikes and have fun. Not many people, not many kids have the opportunity to like see something like this in real life. Here is like free for the public, so they have the opportunity to come here.
Racers from all over the world come to compete in Athens Twilight, which they say is a calendar race.
Oh my God, it's grown exponentially. It was 50 riders max for the whole thing, and now it's like, over 100 riders.
This is the largest pro field I've seen at this race ever. I've never seen 200 guys on this race before.
That turn one there's not another turn in this country that's like turn one. I mean, it's just jam-packed, and it's a tiny turn, and if you don't get it right, then it's going to be catastrophic. Racing Twilight, to me, it's a national calendar race, so it's one of the biggest races on the national calendar in the United States. So racing here, you get to see yourself against the best riders in the country.
Athens, we've heard about forever. Everyone talks about Athens. It's like the biggest well-known race at night, tons of lights, tons of people, huge crowds, and awesome fans. So, I mean, just for the atmosphere, it's a big one to come to.
All the crowds make the race more exciting, I think, and more encouraging.
This is one of the more fun races in the U.S. You cannot go anywhere else in the country and have a crowd this big.
I mean, I think it's amazing for the local community, for the city and the state to have something to all come in and celebrate and watch, but also the whole cycling community. Everyone in the cycling world talks and hears of Athens. It makes big news. So
we don't really have any criterium racing, so in New Zealand it's mostly road racing, and there's no crowds, there's no money, there's no commentators or anything, so this is way better. The racing is quite similar to the other Speed Week races, so in that sense the course isn't a whole lot different, but it's just the environment that's really uplifting.
The economic impact just for this one race, and there's 10 races on the day, you're talking a few $1 million in economic impact from people coming in, traveling, hotels, the restaurants, local businesses. It's a huge impact. I think the target audience is the pro men and pro women fields. There's only the pro races, and then there's like the amateur final, but making it part of a big series is key. Having races like this that are staple in the scene are really important.
The dates for Twilight 2019 are released around August, so stay tuned so you can join the fun next year. For WJAG-TV, this has been Ansley Guntermann.